think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread with the angels. Fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. You say
Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. We are back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. We're gonna be speaking Arsenal, Aubameyang, Mikel Arteta. What is happening at this football club? Where is the problem? Mikel Arteta is set to replace Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and we're going to be discussing the next Arsenal captains that are being revealed, the next Arsenal hierarchy. Obviously, Lacazette is going to be leaving the club. He's among our Arsenal captains. Obviously, the likes of Aubameyang, also our captain now. The next Arsenal captains, who are they going to be? Who are going to be the next leaders at Arsenal Football Club? That is what we're going to be discussing in this video. Hit the like button, subscribe. Obviously, we'll be talking about Arsenal Westham later in the video. We take on Westham on Wednesday, so games are coming in really quick and fast, thick and fast. So really, we will have another preview today. Westham up against Arsenal. But the big story is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to Barcelona, to being dropped as captain, and the shortlist of the next Arsenal captains is actually revealed. I'll also be speaking about my captain, the players that I think should be Arsenal captains in this video. So the question, guys, I'm going to ask you, kindly go in the comment section and let me know one player like this you'd love to be your next Arsenal captain. One player like this. Which player would you love to see as the next Arsenal captain? Is it Kieran Tierney? Is it Ben White? Is it Aaron Ramsdale? Is it maybe Xhaka? I mean, you could give it to Xhaka. Do you want to see Odegaard? Do you want to see maybe Martinelli? Do you want to see Emile Smith-Rowe? Which player do you want to see as the next Arsenal captain? I would love to know. I would love to get your thoughts right about now. Hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get our party started. So to start the party, one, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Mikel Arteta are really having a rough time at the club. If you've noticed in the past 48 hours, it's been a lot of stories leaking here and there about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The latest now is that Barcelona wants him and he is open to moving to Barcelona. For me, he's a little bit running away from his problems, which is a little bit immature for me. I think he needs to, to face his problems. His problem at the moment is very poor form, and I think he has handled this situation very, very poorly as a player and very poorly as a senior player at the side. Because at least we know that Mikel Arteta has tried to show every bit of confidence in the player. He's tried to show that he trusts the player. He tries to show that he wants him around. But I think Aubameyang has failed to lift himself above the water. He's failed to lift his head high. He's looking at his poor performance and he's drowning in it. He's actually, he's being swept away by his very, very poor performance. And I think that is the cause of the problems, the poor form. Aubameyang, when he was actually being given the captaincy, he was really performing well. The Aubameyang that was scoring goals, the Aubameyang that was leading the team, then is gone. And the problem for me is nothing other than the fact that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is actually failing on the pitch. That is causing his disciplinary actions, which are very, very poor. Because this is not the first time, lads, and I know many people want to blame Mikel Arteta for poor man management. I've seen the likes of Martin Keown, the likes of Paul Mason, commenting and speaking about this situation. And many people want to show you that it is Mikel Arteta to blame because Aubameyang was scoring goals before Mikel Arteta, and when Mikel Arteta came in, he's no longer scoring the goals. Yes, that could be a point. That could be really a point. But we've got to ask ourselves a question: why did the goals end with a new contract? With the signing of the new contract, he scored against Fulham. That was at the beginning of last season, and he went a couple of games without scoring it again. So the question is, why after the contract? Why did the goals end up drying after the contract? And for me, I've already said it and I'll say it again, Aubameyang was lied to. The project we sold him, the project we told him was going to be, it is not the project that we actually showed him. I think after signing the new contract, then he realizes after reviewing our transfer policy, looking at the kind of players we were signing in, he knew that this project is not his. He's not going to be the leader of this project. I think what they told him is sign, and you're gonna be the next big thing. You're gonna lead the next revolution. You're gonna lead the next turnaround at Arsenal Football Club. That was a lie. When this project becomes big, Aubameyang will be 40. Aubameyang will be 40, and he will be somewhere farming in Gabon. He's not going to be, the Arsenal captain then. He's not going to be a big thing then. It's the same thing with the likes of Lacazette and all these players. They were told to sign. For me, there's something with Mesut Ozil. He was told to sign a new contract with the hope that they were going to sign players and build something. When these players sign new contracts, that is when they know we were lied to, right? We were really, really lied to. But anyway, the stories now, guys. The first one, let's talk about Aubameyang leaving Arsenal. Is it the right solution for him to leave as a player and for the club? For the club, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the attitude of Aubameyang around these young players is actually not welcomed. Absolutely. It is not welcomed. He needs to go because you need a player with the right mentality. You need a player who believes in the project. Mikel has already spoken about that we want to bring in players from the transfer market that believe in the project, players that do believe in what we want to do. Now, you might have incomings that believe in what you want to do because you're actually you're having a very, very strong gatekeeping process. So that means no one gets through the gate if they do not believe in the existing project, if they do not believe that the project you are holding or you are having is the right project. But inside the project, does everyone believe that is the right project for them? Does every player inside there believe that this project is actually going to materialize into something big, right? I think No is the answer. We've seen it with the likes of Mesut Ozil. They didn't believe in the project, and we saw how it ended. The likes of Aubameyang now is another scenario for me. For me, there is no other explanation. Which other explanation? Look at the chances Aubameyang is missing. Look at his attitude. Look at the way, it's like we are pushing him to play for Arsenal. It's like we are trying, we are only trying to convince him, stay here. This is the right place for you. This is Arsenal Football Club. We're a big club, and you're our captain and things like that. That should not be the way. That is not how it is supposed to be done. Players should be around because they believe in what you want to do as a club. And I think this is what Arsenal really got wrong. You want to bring in players that do believe in your project, but your players around, some of them, they do not believe in the project. I know many of these senior players do not believe in the project. The Mikel Arteta and Kroenke and Josh Kroenke, they do not believe in the project they are selling at the moment. So Aubameyang, now, according to El Nacional, the story is that he's willing to join the project at Barcelona, which doesn't make any sense because at the moment the project at FC Barcelona is way worse. At a worse stage. I know it's a very, very similar scenario, very, very similar project to that of Arsenal. Because if you think about it, if you look at the likes of Pedri, Ansu Fati, Nico, and Abde, and all those young kids that do exist at Barcelona at the moment. If you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Let him go out there to Barcelona, where he's wanted, but Aubameyang at the moment is 32. How many players at Barcelona are 30? How many players in Xavi's team are going to be 30, are going to be 28? I think the only players that will be appreciated, in Barcelona's team, and they're old enough, it's going to be Ter Stegen, it's going to be Dani Alves, it's going to be Sergio Busquets, and of course we know what Sergio Busquets gives to Barcelona. We know what. We know that Dani Alves understands the tradition and the culture of Barcelona. So is Andre Ter Stegen. The rest of the players are really young talents, and that is the same project Barcelona trying to raise is the same project Arsenal trying to raise. So if he goes to Barcelona because he doesn't believe in the Arsenal project, I think, look, it's a wrong move for me. For Aubameyang, Barcelona is not the right destination at the moment. At this time, Barcelona are in a very sorry state. They're in a shambles. They're a shambles. So I don't think for me as a player, if I'm Aubameyang, I don't move to Barcelona. No, I don't move to Barcelona. I think the right destination for him could be a club in Qatar. Sorry for me to say that. Qatar, USA, China. There is some football now in Qatar. There is some football in America. There is some football in. Is there football in China? Maybe there is some football. The money in China at the moment, is slowly, draining out, and that's the problem when you create a league just, based on money. Without the money, you don't have a league. But I think you could go to Qatar. Or in the Middle East, there are some leagues that are really cropping up, and of course we know that there is a lot of oil money out there. Let him go out there, enjoy the money. But for me, Arsenal, it looks like it's becoming more and more a dead end. And why it's becoming a dead end for Aubameyang at Arsenal? It's not the poor form. We've seen it, and we have always asked ourselves, why is he playing game in, game out, even under a very, very poor form? I think him as a player has betrayed himself, and he has also betrayed Mikel Arteta as a manager. Honestly speaking, when a manager picks you in a team that is really performing well and you're the worst player, that is a hell lot of loyalty. Like, that is a lot of loyalty. Many managers do not actually give that, right? I think I've seen that kind of loyalty, or like kind of social picking, Fred and McTominay and Lindelof and Harry Maguire. That is the first scenario. I've seen it when Bentez was picking Solomon Rondon game in, game out after Calvert-Lewin got an injury. And I was like, dude, do you realize that this guy is offering nothing on the pitch? And he never stopped giving him game time. I think I've seen that kind of loyalty with Arteta and Willian, and then Ateta and Aubameyang. Trust me, if there is a manager that will do that, it takes a lot. It really, really takes a lot. And I think the disciplinary stupidness, because for me, it is absolute stupidity. It's absolute stupidity what Aubameyang is doing. You're 32, 33. You've just signed a big money contract less than 3 years ago. You are an icon at the moment. The young lads, the likes of Saka, all of them, they've been in the academy and they've been watching you on their screens saying, wow, I wish I become like Aubameyang. I wish I become lethal like Aubameyang. I wish I become a threat like Aubameyang. And because you've lost your footing, because you've lost the game, the goal scoring touch, you've become a nuisance. For me, it is absolute stupidity. It's absolute stupidity. Take away the lack of goal scoring boots, take away the lack of form, the fact that that he has started, it's not, because for me, it's not even anything like, it's not like an uprising. I don't know what he's trying to do. And I know he's not trying to do. Because if you look at how David Onstein put it, he was given a day off, I think, a break to go and see his mother in Paris, which has no problem. He comes back late. He has to fulfill the COVID-19 criteria. I think I should stop saying that word because it could lead to demonetization of my videos. But he breaches the rules. At the moment, we know clubs are recording cases after cases. We know that clubs are missing training. United, it is being reported by Sky that they didn't have training today. How far that true that is, I'm yet to confirm. But now we are having so many cases confirmed. You're coming from abroad. Why don't you adhere? Like, why don't you just adhere to the rules? As simple as that. Why don't you get the rules? They're easy rules. Probably you have to stay home. Probably you have to isolate and things like that. Why don't you do that? As simple as that. But what the lad decides to do is to go out and take a tattoo. Like, it is so childish that a 7-year-old doesn't do it. Honestly, it is so childish. You have a game. You have an important game at the Emirates Stadium. You're the captain. Your team has not won a game in 180 minutes. In the league. This is your opportunity. To bounce back, to get back to winning ways. The team needs you. Honestly, when I see Aubameyang on the pitch, there is that kind of feeling I get that maybe we will do something because I trust him. As a player, I've seen him at Saint-Etienne. He did it. I've seen at Dortmund. He did it. He is a prolific goal scorer. But the discipline is his actions are unforgivable for me. Right? And I know he will be forgiven. Xhaka was forgiven like that, just like that. That is how easy these Arsenal players get it. Xhaka was forgiven for taking off an Arsenal jersey and stepping on it. Right? He was forgiven. And he was captain then, and he lost his captaincy. So that leads to the big story now. Is Arsenal going to lose another captain, due to indiscipline, right? Due to indiscipline. And allow me to say, it was a big mistake by Arsenal, very, very huge mistake for us to keep Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, for us to keep Granit Xhaka after those actions. It's like you're reinforcing, right? It's like you're reinforcing these actions. It's like we are the reason as to why the team is in this state. Xhaka takes off. It's like me when I take off a Cossy's Arsenal podcast shot, and then I tell all you lads live, you mean nothing to this podcast. This podcast would exist without you lads. And then tomorrow I come on the podcast and talk like nothing happened. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. So many Arsenal fans were hurt by that action. It was a demeaning action to the club. It was a stupid action by an Arsenal captain to take off. Yes, there was frustration. And I do understand. There was a lot of frustration by that time because we were really performing poorly. But the reason you're captain, the reason you're 30 in football, that is the reason, Right? You've seen clubs like Barcelona being battered all the time. Bayern batted Barcelona like 7. And Messi is there frowning. He's there. He wants to cry, but he's not crying. He's trying to tell his teammates, let's be a team. Right? That is what it means to be a leader. Whether you have the captain's armband or you don't have it, that is what it takes to be a leader. And I think the way we have been giving out this captaincy armband is wrong. We give it to someone who is, Aubameyang is not yet signing a contract. Why? Make him the captain. Make him captain. You should, make him captain. You should, when you make him captain, he's going to sign a new contract. That is why we're giving them. It's happened with Robin van Persie. Don't get me wrong. He was a very, very good player. But we gave him the captaincy because he was failing to sign a new contract. We gave it to Xhaka because he was the oldest player in the lot. Does he have the captain? Does he have the qualities? Have you scrutinized and made sure that Xhaka has the qualities of being the next Arsenal captain? Have you looked into it? I think we didn't look into it. We just gave him because he was the oldest in the lot. Aubameyang, he's captain because we want him to sign a new deal. It's not supposed to be like that. Look, I do agree that older players should take the responsibility of the captain's armband. I do agree to that. But it's not because the player is really performing well. I mean, if all players that were really performing well were given an armband, then the armband should be changing every 3 or 4 weeks. Right now, Odegaard is the hottest topic at Arsenal. Give him the armband. Give him the armband. 4 weeks ago, it was Emile Smith-Rowe. Give it to him. He's the best performing player. Give it to him. 4 weeks prior to that, it was Saka. Give it to him. So I think to give a person an armband, you've got to think about his personality. You've got to think about his qualities, qualifications, and so much more. Is really Aubameyang a captain material? No. He's always keeping quiet on that pitch. Yes, I remember I'm one person who has already said that he leads by example. But I think there are better players in that Arsenal side, like we are going to discuss, that are fit to take on that armband rather than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, right? Rather than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, honestly, they are. So, speaking about the candidates, the next Arsenal captains that have been nominated, let me know in the comments below, lads, after hitting the like button. Let me know which player would you give your next Arsenal captaincy? Which player would you prefer? And of course, I'm going to reveal mine, during this video. So, there are 3 players that are being linked to the captain's embassy closely. They're very, very close linked. And there are 3. Number 1 is Ramsdale. Number 2 is Ben White, newcomer. 2 newcomers. And number 3 is Gabriel. I'm going to tell you something. All these players have not been at Arsenal longer than 2 seasons. Right? That shows you how much Aubameyang has frustrated the team and has frustrated the side. Because if we are going into young players that have not been in the team, that do not even know yet what Arsenal Football Club is all about, right? Of course, they know what it's all about because they signed for it, and they know that we are a big brand. But I think, honestly, if Aubameyang had the qualities and Xhaka had the qualities, this armband should be between Aubameyang, Lacazette, Xhaka, and maybe Leno, right? And at the moment, Aubameyang and Lacazette are in that hierarchy. But if you look at how they're leading the club, we've already spoken about the fact that our club lacks any sort of leadership on the pitch. When the club is in a bad state in a match, you need players communicating. You need someone to raise the morale, and no one does it, right? So let us assess these options, and then of course they're from the Mirror. So I would love to share with you that they're from the Mirror, and Merry Christmas from the Mirror, and of course it's us on the podcast as well. So let's assess these options, lads. Ramsdale, how many of you? Let me know in the comments. And of course, if you love Ramsdale and you love him to be the next Arsenal, captain, right about now, smash a like on the video. I'll just look at the number of likes, and then I know how much you lads, how many people love Ramsdale to be the next captain. So let's talk about Ramsdale. Honestly, when I look at Ramsdale, can he be captain? Absolutely. Absolutely. For Arsenal Football Club, I do have a question. If Ramsdale becomes Arsenal captain, it's for two reasons. One, the club has fallen too much. Two, he's fit to lead the new project. Those are the two reasons. I think Ramsdale has the qualities of a good leader. He speaks, he shouts, he gets angry, and he celebrates on the pitch. I think for me, those four make him the right candidate among Ben White and Gabriel. One, the fact that he celebrates as if he scores every time he makes a save, that shows you how much he values his club and his work at the club. Just look at him. Whenever Ramsdale makes a save, he's flying. He's celebrating. He's like, I did it, I did it, I did it. And he's congratulating the players around him whenever they do not score a goal from an attempt. So that is the right mentality. That is the right attitude. You want a player like that. You always want that player that forces the rest of the team to perform better. I think it is Ramsdale. Ever since he stepped into this Arsenal side, I'm sorry to say, but there's so many lazy kakangas that he has actually helped up, so much. There's so many. Because these Arsenal players, we all know they have the quality, but they were really, really, poor in terms of attitude and mentality. So what Ramsdale has done is, basically, he's one of those players that just come into a side and set the bar, a little bit high, right? So if you perform worse than Ramsdale, you've performed poorly. As simple as that. So that is what he did. He set the bar too high, that the likes of Saka, the likes of Smith Rowe, Partey, and Lukonga, and now, everyone at the side basically is raising their standards. Actually, if you look at the last 5 games, it is easy to see who is not performing well in the club, right? Before that, at the beginning of the season, you could just say everyone is performing poorly. Everyone is performing poorly. We are not really, really good. But now, even when we have a bad game, like we played against Everton, you could see that Partey had a poor game. You could see that Xhaka had a very, very poor game. So I think it is Ramsdale's doing. He shines in the team, and his shining actually does not obstruct. It's not really easy for players to, it's more like a camouflage under him. It's either you're performing well, right? It's either you're performing well or you're performing poorly. So Ramsdale, for me, his character is spot on. He's happy to play for Arsenal. He's not taking the Arsenal opportunity like he's not like Arsenal are grateful to have me. Arsenal are lucky to have me. He's the kind of player I'm lucky to play for a club like Arsenal. Obviously, if you know his story, coming from Bournemouth, relegated, then Sheffield United, relegated, playing for a team that is consistently going to give you top 5, top 6 challenges in the league, you're grateful. You're absolutely grateful. And I know when I look at him, Ramsdale, every match day, he's grateful. So, character, attitude, very, very positive. Absolutely very positive. Performances, if it is based on performance, then Ramsdale should take it. Right, I think Gabriel and Ramsdale have been our most consistent players right from the day they entered into the squad. The first 3 games, both of them were not available, but ever since then, they've been so consistent that you will try to find when Gabriel had a bad game, and you will not find it. Of course, there are moments when he had a bad, when he actually slipped off. It's the same with Ramsdale, but they're so consistent that you will try to find a breach in their performance, and it's gonna be very, very hard. So what I'm gonna say is, Ramsdale has the qualities, but for me, he shouldn't be Arsenal captain first and foremost. Why? I think if we had the right quality of players in this team, we are not. If we have the right quality of players, We are not talking about who should be captain. No. But for me, again, Kevin Ramsdale armband, he's just coming. How many games has he played? He's barely played 20 matches. Barely played 20 matches, right? And of course, you give him credit there that he's barely played 20 matches, and you can see how good he is. You can see how positive he is. You can see how strong a character he is. But also, you can blame Arsenal for not having the right quality of players, and that's Ramsdale coming from a Sheffield United team, relegated team, comes in and is now a captain contender, right? So it's two-way. But for me, don't give the armband to Ramsdale, not at yet. No, not at least. Not yet. At least not yet. If you want to give him the responsibility, maybe he should be third captain, not first captain, really, guys. Not first captain. I really love Ramsdale, and I know I've given you a lot of hope, but for me, it's different from being an Arsenal player and being an Arsenal player who's a leader. It's difficult. It is heavy, right? The fans of Arsenal Football Club are going to demand more than the fans of Sheffield United and Bournemouth. I think what Ramsdale needs to do is he needs to enjoy this period where he's doing well, like enjoy it until the end of the season, and then next season he can start taking these bigger responsibilities. At the moment, Ramsdale, I'm happy with the performances, but captain, not yet. Not yet. Candidate number 2 is Ben White. Again, another player who's actually just come in. Ben White, for me, is less qualified to become captain than Aaron Ramsdale. I think Ben White is a good player, and he's really coping up very fast. He's a center back. I really like my center backs to be captains. I don't know why. I think I'm still really locked into the old mentality. Center backs should be captains. If they're not captains, then you don't have a captain. But what I'm gonna say is Ben White, guys. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, let's first hit the like button. How many of you would love Ben White to be our captain? Hit the like button, right? After that, let us know in the comment section whether you would love Ben White, sorry, not Ramsdale, but Ben White to be the next captain. So when I look at Ben White, okay, this is a very sincere show from Cossy. I don't see the leadership skills in Ben White. They have always told us when we were signing him, he's gonna be a leader. He's gonna be the big next captain. Arsenal, but I don't see them. Right? There could be a few. Right? There could be a few. I've seen him show players around, try to talk, but he doesn't have those strong communication skills you want in an Arsenal captain. I don't see them. I don't see them. Right? I don't see them. But he's a good player, and he's young, he's developing. You could just mold him into your next captain. You could just mold him. But again, he's just coming from Brighton. I don't want us to do what United did with Harry Maguire, because Maguire, first, the price tag is heavy, right? Sorry, Harry Maguire, I don't like you. But the price tag is so heavy on him. And he's coming from a Leicester City side, which is significantly smaller than Manchester United, and then he's made captain. Right? I think if there is there's been a disgrace as a captain in the Premier League. Let me think about it. Look, I didn't love William Gallas as a captain. I really didn't have it. But Harry Maguire has been a disgrace of a captain. A disgrace of a captain. Sorry if there are United fans here. Make sure you smash a like on the video before you leave, because I know you're really angry. But what I'm saying is that Harry Maguire is a disgrace of a captain. But think about it. £80 million. He has to deal with so much on his plate already. One, the fact that he's making that move from Leicester City to United, there's a lot to prove. Then he has to prove the 80 million. Then he has to prove the fact that he's now captain. It's a lot. And that's why I don't want Ben White to take on the captaincy. One, moving from Brighton to Arsenal, many people are gonna say, no, that was not the right plan, that was not the right move. We should have gone for Koulibaly, right? Then he doesn't have the experience. Then after that, oh, the money is too much, 50 million is too much, 50 million is too much, Arsenal really made a very, very bad investment. Now, when he becomes captain, oh, he shouldn't be Arsenal captain. Look at what he's doing. And it's all going to be pulling him down. It's going to be pulling him down. And that's why among the three, I think Gabriel Magalhaes, who is option number 3. I think Gabriel would be a little bit better. I don't know what you people think. So let's talk about Gabriel now. Ben White, dismissed for me. Dismissed. Don't give him the captaincy. He's still struggling with the 50 million price tag. Let him prove that. Let him try to work on that. When he works on it, then you can give him the captaincy. But the moment it's just going to be too much for him, he's still young. Don't give him the captaincy. You're going to pull him down. The weight is going to be very, very heavy for him. So Gabriel, 27 million pounds from Lille last summer, but one. Really done well. Well done, bro. Well done. Well done. Well done. I think with Gabriel, I don't want to paint him as the perfect one because my perfect player, my perfect captain is the player I'm going to mention next. But Gabriel, for me, among the three, is the better player. He's the centre back, and like I said, I love centre backs being my captains. I don't know, I'm just old school. I mean, nobody should blame me. I'm just old school. I grew up seeing John Terry, William Gallas as captains, the likes of Real Ferdinand, and I just grew up, in that era of centre backs being captain, Carlos Puyol, and I loved it. I'm not even gonna lie, I loved it. Right? When I support Spain, I could see Puyol as captain, then later Xavi, but then Sergio Ramos, later, and I just loved it. I just love it when centre backs are. I mean, I'm old school. There is no justification that when a goalkeeper or a striker is captain, it doesn't work. I'm just old school. That's it. So he's a centre back, and I think, despite the fact that he struggles with language, the fact that he's Brazilian and from Brazil, then he goes to France where he learned French, so he needs some time to learn English, which I think is really, really doing well consistently. So I think he really talks a lot. He really talks to his teammates. He really organizes that defense. He's the heart of that defense. He's always telling them, don't do this, do this. Don't go that far. Please do this. And I think he's got that kind of, I'm good figure, right? There are those kind of players that take responsibility. Ramsdale, Tierney, Gabriel, Saka. Which other player takes responsibility at Arsenal? I think those 4. They're these kind of players that do not rely on others, but they prefer to do it themselves, right? And I really love it about him. He never complains. He never blames anyone. He never. He either does it himself and fails, or he does it himself and succeeds. He will never say, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be there. It should be Tomiyasu, and that's why he considered." He never says that. He never does that. He takes issues in his own hands. Performance-wise, he's very, very good. Anyone would say, give him captain, and I agree. So for me, among the three captaincy candidates, Captain Gabriel Magalhaes would be the better one, right? Hit the like button if you agree with me. But my captain, and this is where now we are going to agree to disagree, right? This is where we are going to agree to disagree. With the in the team we have the likes of Xhaka, Partey, old players. You have so many players that you could give that captaincy to. Guys, for me it is Kian Tierney. Yeah, it is Kian Tierney. In pecking order, I would give it to Kian Tierney, followed by Gabriel, followed by Ramsdale. Those are the 3 players I would. So my captain, my player that I think should be captain is Kian Tierney. Now, Kian Tierney has a problem, and he knows that problem, and he needs to work on that. It is inconsistencies, especially caused by injuries. I think our medical team needs to work on that. They need to look into it. If it's playing many games, then it should be rotated, quite regularly. If it is a problem with the medical team, sack them. I don't care. Sack them. Sack them. Sack them. I think the point, guys, I'm trying to make is, in a captain, you want a good performer. right? So that when you don't want a captain who's letting the team down all the time. You want a player who's a good performer. You want a player who's always there at that level, right? You want a player that is actually consistently giving you those good performances. Tierney does have that. You want a player with a very positive attitude. We can win, right? That guy, that lad, trains in winter without a jacket, in short sleeves, with his stockings down. That guy is incredible. Tierney is just incredible. Look, let's take away the performances, because he's been so inconsistent this season. Right, even at the start of the season, I thought he was really inconsistent, and that's why Nuno Tavares had gotten that spell. But that guy is ridiculous. Tierney is ridiculous. His character he's a beast. I think if he had a manager like and I'm sorry to say this, I didn't want to talk about Mikel because I'm not really interested in talking about Mikel all the time. But if he had a manager like, which manager? Let's which manager could give him that kind of inspiration as a footballer? Okay, let's say again I'm gonna say Ronald Koeman, right? I'm gonna say Ronald Koeman. If you had a manager like Koeman or maybe Conte, I think he would be a better footballer than he is at the moment. Better footballer. So I think with Tierney, you have all the qualities of a good leader, all the qualities of a perfect player there. It's like he's like, I'm your next captain. If you want me to. If you do not want me to, it's okay. But he should be our next captain. His character is lit. He's there. Of course, the only problem, like I said, is you don't want the captain that always is on the in the sick bay. You don't want that. You want a player that is going to guarantee you durability, a player that's going to guarantee you reliability, and a player that is going to guarantee you consistency. Oh, I mean, all of them mean the same thing, almost, don't they? But my point is, he has the character. He's got the attitude. He's a good performer. He's a good team player. He's flexible. You could play him in a back three. You could play him in a back five. You could play him in a back four, and it gives you the same results. And he's not one of those players that are letting us down. So for me, Tierney, my captain. If you agree with me, lads, hit the like button. Hit that like button if you agree with me. I want to see how many people agree with me. I want to see the like button changing. And I'm going to see how many people agree with me on Tierney. And of course, in the comments below, let me know, do you agree with me? Tierney being our next captain. So I also looked at a couple of other players as we think about who should be our next captain. And then the period to change the captaincy. So I thought about Emile Smith-Rowe. But I think is not yet there. Saka, not yet there as well. Martinelli, not yet there. Odegaard, captaining Norway at the moment. Maybe that could give him the kind of edge because he's captaining Norway already. So probably he knows what it means to be captain. But I don't see him, as that fatherly figure and that we should fight on character. I don't really see it in him. Partey, I know many people will be thinking about Thomas Partey. Should Partey be our next captain? I didn't really give Partey big thoughts, but I left him out because of his inconsistencies, right? I left him out because of his inconsistencies. He's so inconsistent. Ever since he signed for us, I don't remember him having 10 good games. For Tierney, I can remember him having a good season, a consistent good season. So with Partey, I left him out because of the consistency. So the last bit about this is, when then should we change our captain? That's the big question. When should Arsenal change our captain? Should it be middle of the season, like right now, or should it be at the end of the season? Many pundits think are saying it would be a disruption in our season, and it could cause massive damages if the team actually gets a new captain right now. I want to agree, right? Because it is from mature minds, and they do understand. The likes of Paul Mason and Keon, they do understand. But what I'm gonna say, people, is changing a captain at the moment could cause problems in the dressing room. Especially, it is so damaging to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, it would be so damaging. And that is what happens when you give players the captaincy for the wrong reasons, right? It's like when you marry a woman for the wrong reasons. Yeah, those are the things that really happen all the time. You're fighting for the wrong reasons. That's it. So I think Aubameyang, it would look, if we are trying to boost his confidence back, it would really hurt his confidence levels. Like it would really hurt his confidence levels, and that's the last thing he wants as a player, to wake up and hear that we are having an appointment or an election for a new captain, right? It would make his life even harder at Arsenal. So it's one reason. It's the only reason I would say don't give the captain to another person at the moment. Leave it for Aubameyang, just out of sympathy for Aubameyang. But for me, I think having the wrong captain again in the team really affects the team. Captain is not about talking in press conferences, because when we were really performing poorly, he was sending the likes of Saka to take press conferences. That is what he was doing. When the team was losing, it is only Saka that I remember was coming out and saying, guys, Arsenal fans do not deserve this. We are really sorry. We will try to do it a little bit better. I didn't see Aubameyang do it. I didn't see the likes of Aubameyang trying to, tell the team, we are really sorry, trying to tell the fans, we are really sorry, we will improve. He was running away from the media. He was running away from the press. The moment results turn around, he started taking press conferences. He started speaking in match reactions. And I'm like, okay, well done, lad. Well done, lad. You love us when we are doing well, but when we are really doing poorly, you're afraid of standing in for the team. Well done there. Well done. But anyway, the truth is, it really hurts the team to have the wrong captain, right? It really hurts the team. So honestly, I think we could wait until the end of January and then get a new captain when Aubameyang is in. Okay. This looks like again being hypocritical. Like when he goes to AFCON and then we elect a new captain, and then he comes back and he's no longer captain. It looks a little bit hypocritical, really. Yeah. It looks a little bit hypocritical. We would rather do it in. Look, I don't know, guys. Let me know. Is it right for us to change captain at the moment, or we should actually wait until the end of the season? Right. So the next segment we'll be speaking about our game ahead of Westham. Make sure you hit that like button as always and subscribe to the channel as well. So many people are in the chat. I'm really happy. Alex says, due to commitment, work rate, and determination on the pitch, I choose either Kian Tierney or Ramsdale. Lambert says, as for me, Auba was also not fit to be captain, but out of panic, he was appointed. Thank you so much. Appointed for the wrong reasons. Glenn says, you can't change it right now, but we have to learn from this mistake. We have 3 chances to change it. We had 3 chances to. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Glenn. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely right. Right? Because for me, when Xhaka gave it away, when we took it away from Xhaka because of stupidity, we should have thought better before giving it away. Again, we should have thought better. Johnson, the Ugandan Guna, says, to me, Auba should run down his contract with the captaincy. Thank you so much, Johnson. Douglas says, I would like Tierney. Lambert says, Tierney works hard, but as if he doesn't talk with the captain, it needs someone who really talks with the team. Malik says captain should be Gabriel, followed Kian Tierney, and then followed by Ramsdale. Please. Geoffrey says Thomas Partey should be captain. Anu says I will go with Kian Tierney as captain, but he's not yet he's not on the list, right? Yeah, he's not there. I mean, I was surprised as well. He's not there. Cubs, my man, says Gabriel. For me, of course, the power there behind this podcast, the likes of the Cubs FM, the likes of my man DJ Spino. I mean, really, guys, thank you so much. It's been a long journey, and we are really moving in the right direction. Jacko Tinder says, which end of season, fire the poor guy and get in a new captain. That's really that's really funny. It's not really funny, but it shows you the level of frustration in the team. Keita says Tierney, for me, as always, but not now at the end of the season. Paul says please give Xhaka one more chance, guys. Let me know, should Xhaka be given another chance as Arsenal captain? I mean, just let me know. Should Xhaka be given another chance as Arsenal captain? He's let us down on a number of occasions. It's not look. It's not reason enough for me to come out and say Xhaka out or anything like that, because he's really, really loved by the manager. But for me, I can't go back to Xhaka. Honestly, I can't go back to Xhaka. However much I would love to, however much I really, really, want to be nostalgic. But even if I want to be nostalgic, when were the good days when Xhaka was so impressive in the Arsenal side? Like, I mean, we would love to be nostalgic, wouldn't we? Like, we would love to be nostalgic, but do we really have to be that nostalgic? Like, to force it? I don't think so. I wouldn't go with Xhaka anyway. I wouldn't really go with Xhaka. But anyway, thanks everybody who's doing it, who's smashing that like button. Thanks for everybody who's getting involved in the chat. Really means a lot to the podcast, and it really means a lot to us when we get those likes in. So let's get into our preview. Like I said, games coming in thick and fast. Let's get into the preview. We take on West Ham on Wednesday. On Wednesday night, it's going to be difficult. It's one of the most important games that we have in the season, but also one of the very, very difficult London derbies we have this season, right? We've got to agree to that. Spurs, maybe the second leg will be a difficult one now that they have Conte and they will have gone through the January transfer window. But West Ham, in London at the moment, they are second. They are second in form. I think you'll talk about Chelsea, and then you talk about West Ham. I think to really speak about West Ham and the preview, let's start off with West Ham. It's such a big job that Moyes has done with them. Really a big job. If you look at the kind of players, the brand of players that they have at the moment, I like Bowen. I like Antonio. I like I'm looking for this guy. Not Declan Rice. I know everybody's gonna say, "Cossy, you're saying you're looking for Declan Rice, not Declan Rice." It's Bowen and then Pablo Fornals. Yeah, Pablo Fornals. So if you look at what he has really managed to do with this breed of players, you've got to give him a lot of credit as a manager. And if you look at where they are now, yes, they're really performing poorly, by the way, in their last 5 games, and that is when we have to take advantage as Arsenal Football Club. Because if you look at West Ham, how are you performing, my lads? They have one win in the last. They have one win in the last 5 games. One win like this. That is when I think Arsenal can do it. We can beat West Ham. They're coming at the Emirates Stadium. Another advantage. Let's look at their last Premier League games. They beat Liverpool 3-2. Okay. They were beaten by Wolves 1-0. So you can see again, really inconsistent there. Beating Liverpool and then losing to Wolves. Then they drew with Brighton. After that 1-0 loss to Wolves, then they lost to Manchester City 2-1, right? Then they drew with Brighton 1-1. Then they beat Chelsea 3-2, right? So you can see their season is a little bit inconsistent. They beat Chelsea 3-2, and then finally they drew with Burnley 0-0. So their last 5 games, they have a point against Burnley. They have 3 points against Chelsea. They have a point against Brighton. They have a loss against Manchester City and a loss against Wolves. There are some points to take out of that. There are really some big points to take out of their last 5 games. One is they are big game winners, right? They have beaten. They have collectively got 6 points off Liverpool and Chelsea. They among those 2 teams, Arsenal do not have a point. Really embarrassing. I'm really embarrassed to say that we do not have a point against Chelsea. We do not have a point against Liverpool, right? And if you look at their game against Manchester United, United won it 1-0 because their captain, apparently, Mark Noble, missed a last-minute penalty. They could have gotten a point, and I also think they should have won that game, right? They should have won that game. They were really unlucky, really, really unlucky not to win that game. How we expect them to line up? They predominantly line up in that 3-4-3 formation. We have Dawson, Katzuma, and Diop. Diop is at the moment, I think Diop is injured, and they are really looking out to find a new centre back. But they predominantly play a back three of Dawson, Zuma, and Diop, and then a midfield four. We have Thomas Susek in the midfield, Declan Rice, Johnson, and so forth. Of course, it really changes because at times they play Pablo Fornals in that midfield as well. And of course, Pablo Fornals is one of their best performers this season. Then Jerome Bowen and Manuel Lanzini could be those midfield two, or those two support strikers, or what you call attacking midfielders, following Mikel Antonio. Let's see how they lined up in their last game against Burnley. It will give us a better picture of how they will line up against Arsenal. So in their last game against Brighton, against Burnley, which was a 0-0. Fabianski, they had Fabianski in goal. They had Diop, they have Dawson, they have Sofo in the back. They played the back four where they played Sofo, Dawson, Diop, and Arthur Masuaku. That means they lacked the services of one of their best players, Katzuma. Declan Rice and Thomas Susek played in the midfield pivot. Benrahma, Lanzini, Bowen. Three of them were following Mikel Antonio. Their star players this season. Talk about Jerome Bowen. He's one of those really deadly players at the moment at Westham. And of course, we know that Liverpool want him. Mikel Antonio is another difficult player, really scoring goals for fun for them, and really scoring important goals for them. Benrahma, of course, we know the quality, and I really still think Arsenal should be the owners of Benrahma. Honestly, we know we should be the owners of Benrahma. But Benrahma, again, another star player, another key player. We tried to sign him before West Ham signed him. It didn't actually materialize. It didn't come through. And now Benrahma did join West Ham. And I think this season, he's one of their star players. Manuel Lanzini has been coming off the bench so many times, but I think in his position, it has been Pablo Fornals who's been playing there. Declan Rice and Thomas Susek. We all know that Thomas Susek is a very hard player, but Declan Rice, what a talent. Guys, if you're a big fan of the English Premier League, a big fan of world football, a big fan of the English national team, a big fan of good football, we know that Declan Rice, I don't want to say he's world class at the moment, but he is quality. He is real quality. Like, he's real quality. And I think it's going to be a very interesting tie, especially in terms of midfielders. Declan Rice, Partey. Thomas Susek, either Lokonga or Xhaka. Right? So I think Mikel, this is one game that Mikel has to be very careful as we go into the team selection. He has to be so careful. Xhaka, for me, doesn't have to play in that game, right? But still speaking about West Ham, I think their weakness now is conceding. They're really conceding goals. I think their backline is damaged, so we have to take advantage of that. They really score goals. They play good football. They score goals. They play a high intense game, but they concede lots of goals as well. So I think that is one thing that Mikel should be thinking about as we go into this game. How do we make them concede? Because they conceded 2 against Chelsea. You can see they conceded a goal against Brighton. They conceded 2 against Manchester City. They conceded a goal against Wolves. So they literally concede a goal every game, right? So that shouldn't be a problem to us. We need to take our chances. We need to create them, and we need to create chances, and we need to punish them by taking the chances that we do create. But of course, I think again, it's a very, very big open opportunity for Arsenal this game. If we talk about Arsenal and what the game means to us, we already know. Let's look at the table. West Ham are fourth at the moment, 28 points. Arsenal are sixth on the table, 26 points. Arsenal have 2 wins in their last 5 games and 3 losses. West Ham have 2 losses, 2 draws, and 1 win. We are really, all of us are really, doing poorly. But there is an advantage. West Ham are coming on at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal are really at the best performing team at the Emirates Stadium. Sorry, at home. We have collected more points at the Emirates Stadium or at home ground, more home points than any other team in the Premier League. I'm not bragging, but of course, we are that good, right? We are that good. Everybody knows that. Our problem has been away from home. Our problem has been on the road. And you look at the 3 losses that we have suffered in our last 5 games. One is at the Old Trafford, the other is at the Anfield, and the other is at the Goodson Park. So you can see away from home, we are a shambles. At home, we are saints, we are angels, we are lethal, we are the best team in the world. You could say anything you want. So I think in this game, it's another opportunity, one, for Arsenal to go back to top 4. Another opportunity if the goal is not called off because of cases. But it's another opportunity for us that we shouldn't bottle it. We had an opportunity to stretch our lead, against Manchester United to 8 points. We failed. We had an opportunity to go to top 4 if we beat Everton. We failed. Now the opportunity is back. It's an opportunity for us to go ahead of West Ham. Take it. Like, simply take it. That's what I'm asking for. Take it, right? Because if we have 26 points and Tottenham Hotspur have 2 games in hand. Come on, guys. We need to win these games. We need to get these points. Spurs have 2 games in hand. They have only played 14 and we played 16. And, you can imagine Spurs are below Arsenal by 1 point. That means that if Spurs win their game, what is their goal difference? They have a -1. So we have the same goal difference as Spurs, -1. So if they win their game and we fail to win, Spurs will be above us with 2 games in hand. That is crazy. No. That is crazy. I don't even want to listen to that. Like, it's crazy, right? So it's a game that Arsenal have to win. It's a game that we have to give our whole, right? One, we have just come back to winning ways, right? We've just come back to winning ways. So you don't want us to be, falling back again to losses. We want to keep the consistency. We have to find the right footing. Yes, we didn't start December very well, but it's now our chance to start. Look, December, where are you? Arsenal matches, December, come on, Arsenal. Let's look at the matches we have in December, and then we could see how important this game is to us. Arsenal games December. All right, here we are. December, we started off December playing Manchester United. We lost that game 3-2. That was on the 2nd of December. 6th December, played Everton, lost 2-1. We bounced back. We beat Southampton 3-0. The next game is at Emirates Stadium, and we will play West Ham. After playing West Ham, we have 3 easy games. That is what I'm talking about. We have 3 easy games after that. So we just need to take this difficult moment, play like we have never played before. Because after playing West Ham, we will take on Leeds away from home. We will win that one. Then we shall play Sunderland in the Carabao Cup. We will win that one. Norwich away from home at the Carrow Road. We'll win that one. And we shall play Wolves. So wait, did we play Wolves already? Because I know we played Norwich. Did we play Wolves already this season? Like, because it looks like we're playing Norwich first, then Wolves next. But I don't remember Arsenal play. Actually, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. I think is Wolves in the FA Cup probably? No, because in the FA Cup we're playing Nottingham Forest, and that would be on the 9th of January. It's crazy, lads. We are playing. You know what's funny is we are playing Norwich the second round before we play Wolves the first round. Has anything like that ever happened in the world? I don't know. But anyway, my point is beat West Ham, and then if we beat West Ham, we can beat Leicester. Sorry, we can beat Leeds, Norwich, and Wolves. Right? Those will be around 6 games or 5 games in a row without a loss. Because on the 1st of January, in an early kickoff, we will be playing Manchester City. So you can't lose against Wolves and Norwich and Leeds. You need to win those games, consolidate your position in top 4, and then come, because we will struggle against Manchester City. There is no question about that, right? So look, guys, this is an important game, really important, and make sure we don't lose it. We should make sure that we do not lose it. The lineup that I think will be starting. I think Ramsdale will be in goal. Tomiyasu and Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, and Kiantiani. That should be the back 4. Xhaka should be out. Xhaka should be out. No, look, not because it's too bad, but he's not fit. We know that, and we're gonna be facing one of the best midfield pivots at the moment in the league, Thomas Susek and Declan Rice. And of course, you have now the likes of Lanzini. You're going to have the likes of Pablo Fornos running at you, Benrahma creating the spaces and running into them. So I think Xhaka, it should be Lokonga for Xhaka. Partey, obviously, we need the same performance like he put in against Southampton. And then Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Saka. And then up front, like I said, I'm going to drop Martinelli in this game. I think we will need more of the services of Emile Smith-Rowe than the services of Martinelli, but I'll bring on Martinelli. I would bring on Martinelli in the 70th minute. But anyway, during the predict lineup tomorrow, you should be able to to get all that information. I'll be dropping the predict lineup after tomorrow's morning show. I'll be dropping tomorrow's morning show at 11 a.m. and then I'll be dropping the predicted lineup at around 2 p.m. and then we'll be live at 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. So, guys, those are my thoughts. On the preview, we do not have so many injuries at the moment. So do because West Ham do have injuries. They do have injuries, lots of them, right? Lots and lots of them. They do have injuries. So it's an opportunity for us, by the way. Really, really, very, very big opportunity for us. Let me see. Of course, what's gonna be interesting is if Aubameyang will be back in this team for us. No, if Aubameyang is gonna be back in the team, and whether it's gonna be coming straight in. That's what's gonna be interesting. Is it gonna come straight back in, or Mikel will actually say no? You can't come straight back in. Wait a bit, because he's really performing poorly, and he's coming, from a back of disciplinary action. So it would be really, really interesting to see. But let's get into some of your, some of your comments in the chat. Glenn says that's how they usually arrange. You play 18 games, 18 teams first, then 1 return leg, and then 19. Well, I didn't realize that, Glenn. Thank you so much, my bro. I didn't really realize that. How didn't I realize that? And then Abdi says Green Chaka should be the captain. Okay. Malik says our next games before Manchester City should be winning games. Let's focus on top 4. We are a big club, for God's sake. Thank you so much, Malik. And I know you really love Arsenal so much. And Nim says, hi, Cossy. Let's give Kiantiani our armband. Alex says, I wish Diego Simeone was Arsenal manager. That guy is a no-nonsense manager. That guy is a no-nonsense manager. That's one thing I really like about him. He's a no-nonsense man. Really no-nonsense. Malik says, watch out for Antonio Cossy. You're absolutely right. And says, our coach is not a guarantee on game plan. I think, yeah, you're right. With Mikel Arteta, it's not a guarantee that he's going to win this game. It's not a guarantee, really. Francis says, Cossy's Arsenal 3, West Ham 1. Yes, I mean, if it's the final result, I'll be flying in the match reaction. I'll be really, really, really flying in the match reaction. Malik says West Ham is going to be very difficult. For Arsenal, they are good for God's sake, Cossy. They defeated Liverpool, they defeated Chelsea. They lost the match to United, but I think it was a very very close tie. This show they are good. They are good winners, but Arsenal can do it with a very very good game plan. I think it's going to be the brilliance of the manager and how we approach the game. If they approach the game better, they win it. If we approach the game better, we win it. So it's going to be again who approaches the game better and who has the better manager. Breezy Shay says we should be playing Champions League. I know when you see, when I saw the Champions League draws, I felt nostalgic as well. I remembered those times, when we were in the Champions League, and it was, always Arsenal. I was watching out for Arsenal. I was waiting to play, in the Champions League. But I wish we go back there. My man Malik says I owned Ojara Francis. I owe Ojara Francis if we win 3-1. Okay. And then Michael says, I think this game we need Niles in the game. Do we really need Maitland-Niles in that midfield against West Ham? I don't think so, really, lads. I don't really think so. I don't really think so. Unless I'm wrong, but I really don't think so. So, guys, thanks everybody for watching. Let me just send a few shout outs to you lads, and then I'll speak to you tomorrow in the morning. Johnson Malik, big up to you, lad. You are a legend. Anu says, seriously, Arsenal need to win this game. Big up to you, Anu. You're a legend. Really tunes in for every show. Michael, big up to you. Francis Ojara, big up. Neem, big up to you, lad. Abdi, big up. My man Glenn, big up to you. Salat, big up. What is this? Why did I say Salad? Salad, big up. And says we will play less games. That is the reason. Cossy, Alex Bushi or Bashi, big up. You said, you wish Simeon is our manager. Big up to you. David Mugume, big up. For watching. Ahmed, big up to you. Really appreciate. Oluranti, big up to you. Long time, my man, Oluranti. Onyango Simon, big up. Thank you so much for always tuning in. Jin Paul, Rasvik, and everybody who's been on the show. I'm really, really, really grateful. Lads, I'm gonna say this as we end the show. I think this is the most difficult time to support Arsenal Football Club. I don't know if I'm right, but I think this is the most difficult time to support Arsenal Football Club. It's the most difficult time. We lose games. We are inconsistent. We have a manager that many of us actually do not believe in. We are very far. If you look at the gap between us and the likes of City, United, Chelsea, it's very, very far, right? And we've always said it right from last season that this is one of the hardest clubs and hardest times to support your club. I'm really happy that you guys do support the club, and then you support the podcasts that do Arsenal Calling as well. I'm really proud of you guys. I'm really happy to have you. I'm proud to have you as my audience. I wish you guys everything you want in life, like everything you want in life. I'm sure we will win this game, but Xhaka must play. Must play that game. Okay, that is Douglas says Xhaka should play. Honestly, guys, I don't think Xhaka should play this game. I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but I don't think Xhaka should play this game. I don't know. I don't know. And finally, the last comment I will take is okay. 2 comments. Is from S99X who says at Mikel Arteta out. If we sack Mikel Arteta, bring in Ronald Koeman, bring in Diego Simeone, bring in Eric Ten Hag. I can never say I'm Mikel Arteta in when there's those kinds of managers out there and we can get them. I can never say that. I can never say I'm Mikel Arteta in. Yasin says Arsenal for life. We need this game badly. And Ace99X says no hope against West Ham. Really no hope? Is it no hope? I think it is not really no hope. Smash a like on the video. 70 people on. Make sure you smash the like button, people. Let's get more 70 likes on the video. And let me speak to you tomorrow. Love you always. And as always, come on you, Gunners.
Anywhere you go,